नूर बन गई मक्के की ज़मीन मिस्ले हरम, आके जंगल में चमन हक का खिलाने वाली, आके जंगल में चमन हक का खिलाने वाली, एक औरत शहर बसाने वाली। Assalamu alaikum and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Arshia Hassan. On behalf of the entire team of Suzy, I welcome you to this evening's Community Awareness and Fundraising Dinner. Thank you all for being here. Your support is very important to us. Together, we will take the first steps towards this community empowering project. Suzy's Place is a safe haven for victims of domestic violence. Not only does it provide immediate short-term shelter for the woman and her children, Suzy's Place also offers assistance programs for rehabilitation. The vision of Suzy's Place is that every person has the right to be safe, empowered, and free from violence. We aim to reduce social problems such as child abuse, sexual assault, substance abuse, sexism, racism, and other forms of oppression. Our main goal is to empower these women with the will to stand up on their own 2 feet and take charge of their lives. No one deserves to be beaten or abused. If we help these oppressed women, we will help not only to empower them, their children, but most of all, to help save the entire family unit. Ladies and gentlemen, our program for tonight is as follows. We will start with the Tilawat-e-Quran Pak. This will be followed by an address by the Honorable Consul General of Pakistan, Faisal Niaz Tirmizi. A short presentation on Suzy's Place will follow next. A beautiful naat or a dua will be recited by Shehzad Ahmed, which will lead into our keynote speakers, Maulana Thanvi and Robin Desor. Next, you will meet Suzy and hear her story. Yes, Suzy, whom this shelter is named after. The most important part of the evening, fundraising, will follow next by Sheikh Gifa, Imam and Director of Prayer and Center of Orland Park. Inshallah, with your help and support, we will achieve our goal, and the evening will end with dinner and comedy entertainment by Sabir Sheikh. I would like to take this opportunity to thank Mr. Rana Javed, our longtime friend, and he's with Pakistan News, and Mr. Ansar Rizvi with Safir-e-Pakistan, Geo News. Now, I would like to invite on stage Hafiz Abdul Ahad for Tilawat Quran Pak.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ويستفتونك في النساء قل الله يفتيكم وما يتلى عليكم في الكتاب في يتامى النساء اللاتي لا تؤتونهن ما كتب لهن وترغبون أن تنكحوهن والمستضعفين من الولدان وأن تقوموا لليتامى بالقسط وما تفعلوا من خير فإن الله به عليما صدق الله العظيم. And they requested from you, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, a legal ruling concerning women. Say, Allah gives you a ruling about them and about what has been recited to you in the book concerning the orphan girls to whom you do not give what is decreased for them, and yet you desire to marry them, and concerning the oppressed among children, and that you maintain for orphans their rights and justice, and whatever you do of good, indeed Allah is ever knowing of it.
Takbir. Takbir. MashaAllah, beautiful job. I would now like to invite on stage our honored guest, the Consul General of Pakistan in Chicago, Professor Niaz Tirmizi Sahab, to say a few words about Suzy's Place.
Honorable Eugene, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just talking to one of the colleagues sitting here that in my job, we travel a lot. I have already served in 5 countries, been to school in 4 countries. But one lesson that I've learned, that human problems, issues all over the world are the same. There are issues in all societies, in all countries. And I'm very happy that this initiative has been taken by the Pakistani Suzy's Place, by the Pakistan community, to provide a place where all women who have been subjected to violence or domestic violence, they can find a refuge. Because as a Consul General, we receive a lot of complaints and a lot of women approach us with their domestic issues, and we have been suggesting them different places that they can find legal help or they can find shelter to stay and to make things better. So this is a great initiative, and what is more important, that this is an initiative taken by the Pakistani American community in which they have openly invited other parts of the American community as well. So that is a great initiative by itself. I wish you all the success, and I'm sure it will be one more achievement of our community in this beautiful city of Chicago. Thank you so much.
Hope Against Poverty has been building bridges between needy communities in Pakistan and Chicago since 2012. HAP, as it's short for, has provided access to high-quality education, food, shelter, healthcare, freshwater wells, and vocational training both in Pakistan and the south side of Chicago. Every year, HAP delivers by hand 500 turkeys for needy families in the south side during Thanksgiving. Its current project is Suzy's Place, a domestic violence shelter for women and their children. I would like to take this opportunity for you to get to know some of the faces behind Suzy's Place. If you can take a look at our board of directors, we've got Alderman Carrie Austin from the city of Chicago. She serves on the south side.
Can you hear me? Okay. And then we've got Assistant Director, Robin Desor, Department of Homeland. I don't know, my voice sounds a little off.
Is this better? Much better, yeah. So Assistant Director of Homeland Security, Assistant Director Robin Desor. She's also going to be one of our keynote speakers tonight. She is on Suzy's Place board. We've got Shaiba Khan, philanthropist and businesswoman, which most of you know. She owns multiple stores on Devon Avenue and retail places all over Chicago. Next slide. We've got a very interesting and a very unique advisory board, so if you could please kindly look at that. Suzy's Place serves all sorts of women from all backgrounds, diversities, socioeconomic background. So we wanted to make sure that our advisory board supported that. We've got Dr. Elliott, who's a professor at Northwestern University. Shaiba Mahmood Khan, she's a philanthropist out in New York City. We've got people from all over the United States that are supporting us, so it's good to know that. Anuradhika Roy, she's a holistic and spiritual coach. Judge Divya Sarang, 16th Judicial Circuit, State of Illinois. Saira Shirazi, she's an attorney. Dr. Bacchus, dermatologist, and Superintendent Eugene Williams, Chicago Police Department, who's also here tonight. Thanks for supporting us, Eugene. Next slide, please. Our executive committee, if I could ask you guys to stand. Sayed Tariq Hussain, are you here? He's in the back, over there. Sayed Tariq Hussain. Tariq Muhammad, where is he? Right over there. So Tariq Muhammad. We have Iram Ibrahim, she's a lawyer, serves on our board. We have Jafar Hassan, where is he? My other half is probably outside. So yeah, he's probably outside. And then we have Rifat Tariq, where is she? And she's probably outside too. So the two most hardest working individuals are outside the hall. Next slide, please. This is our outreach committee, and again, I would like these people to stand up if they're in the hall. Tanveer Khan, she's here, I know, she's right here. We've got Khalilur Rahman. I do remember seeing him, if he could stand up kindly. He's by the door too. Okay, there he is, right by the front door. We have Ariba Tariq. I think she's outside helping out with the babysitting. Leila Rizvi. Leila, if you can stand up, I know you're somewhere. There she is. Anjum Lakhani, she's somewhere here too, right over there. Iram Hassan, she said she was going to be late, so I hope she is here. And if not, that's okay. Kamran Anis, if he is here, please kindly stand. Aisha Moyubi, where is she? She's right here, yeah. Aisha. And Tahir Zedi. Tahir, I saw you somewhere. Tahir is right by the door now. All right, so a round of applause for our outreach committee, our board, who have worked tirelessly to make this event happen. And now I would like to invite Iram Ibrahim Ahmed, I'm confused. It's been a long day, so I do apologize, Iram. She, our executive team member, she is a lawyer by profession and an amazing, amazing individual. She gets everything done. So here's Iram.
Thank you all for joining us tonight. This is a very important cause, very near and dear to many of our hearts, all the names you just heard. I'd like to call myself an attorney with a conscience. I like to call myself that because there's a lack of us with a conscience in the community. I mean, we all believe in billable hours, but it's not too often that you really see people come together and use their professional services and skills and put them all together for a great cause like this. So Suzy's Place seeks to assist women who are victims of domestic violence. This includes emotional, economic, sexual, and physical abuse. With your help, we aim to provide the necessary assistance to help these women with transitional housing, emotional support, and a diversified continuum of services focused on safety, empowerment, and self-sufficiency. Suzy's Place actively pursues community partnerships to raise awareness, provide these necessary services, and educate community members about domestic violence. Even though we have not opened our doors yet, we have already started providing a number of these services. Slide, please. These services include a physical safe haven for women escaping domestic violence. And one example of the physical safe haven is this property that one of our board members has generously donated. Provide individual and group counseling for victims and children, educational support, assist them with job placement and job skill training, basic health care through physician volunteers, language assistance, legal assistance, parenting and life skills management and counseling. There's a desperate need for organizations such as Suzy's Place, especially in the Chicagoland area. We need your support. Many board members, again, have donated their time, funds, professional skills, their jewelry, and other valuable assets to make Suzy's Place a reality. Despite our efforts And in light of the lack of state funding, Suzy's Place needs your help and generosity to operate properly. And in order to provide these victims of domestic violence the support that they need to get back on their feet. While being an attorney has made my heart soft to the subject matter at hand, my primary goal in life is to serve Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and primarily to please my Maker. The Quran mentions charity a number of times. And if you notice, the Quran mentions charity in the same sentence as it speaks of our requirement as Muslims to pray 5 times a day. That suggests how important charity is for all Muslims. That just as important as it is for us to pray 5 times a day, we are to be charitable and to help those in need, whether they're Muslims or not. Being charitable is very strongly urged upon Muslims, so much so that the Holy Prophet Muhammad ﷺ has said that every limb of the body, doing a charitable deed is due every single day. Whether it's from the hands, the feet, the tongue, such as giving a generous comment to someone, making their day, putting a smile on their face. The Prophet, peace be upon him, also said that there's not a single person who cannot do a deed of charity upon one another. According to the Prophet, if someone has nothing to give, then you are to go out, get a job, work, and then use those funds to help others in need. As such, I humbly stand before you tonight and ask you to join in our mission, victims of domestic violence, by making meaningful charitable donations to Suzy's Place. There's no doubt that I am truly a woman of God. While my faith in the Quran, I firmly believe that we, no matter what religion we belong to, we all answer to the same God, we just find our rules in different books. As I briefly touched upon moments ago, charity is often mentioned alongside prayer. Prayer expresses the love for God, submission to Him, and a desire to bring out the divine qualities that lie hidden in every single human being. Charity is an expression of sympathy and benevolence towards God's creations, putting into actual practice the lessons that you learn through prayer. And as such, I cannot emphasize the fact that we cannot operate successfully without your generosity to help these women in need. So I hope that you find it in your hearts as Muslims and just as human beings to give to us today generously and help these women. Jazakallah khair.
Thank you so much. I would now like to invite on stage Mr. Shehzad Ahmed, who will recite a beautiful naat.
वस्सलाम अला इबादिही लज़ीना इस्तफ़ा अम्मा बाद। मुअज़्ज़ज़ ख़वातीन व हज़रात, सबसे पहले तो मैं उन हज़रात से माज़रत ख़्वाह हूँ कि जो मेरी ज़बान समझ नहीं सकते और अगर न भी समझे तो भी कोई हर्ज नहीं है। और वजह उसकी जो है वो ये है कि सब माशाअल्लाह काबिल, समझदार, पढ़े लिखे हज़रात तशरीफ़ फरमा हैं। ईरान में एक बड़ा दानिश्वर गुजरा है मुल्ला नसीरुद्दीन के नाम से। उसके वाक़यात बड़े मशहूर हैं और उस बातें बहुत अच्छी करता था, लेकिन तकरीर नहीं कर सकता था। लोग अक्सर चाहते थे कि मुल्ला नसीरुद्दीन से तकरीर सुने, لیکن وہ جان بچا کے نکل جایا کرتا تھا. ایک دن لوگوں نے مسجد میں گھیر لیا کہ ملا جی آج تو آپ کی تقریر ہم سنے بغیر آپ کو جانے نہیں دیں گے. اب پھنس گئے وہ تو بیٹھ گئے ممبر پر. تو انہوں نے کہا کہ بھئی میں تقریر تو کروں گا، پہلے یہ بتاؤ کہ تم لوگوں کو یہ پتا ہے کہ میں کیا کہنے والا ہوں؟ لوگوں نے کہا کہ نہیں، ہمیں نہیں معلوم کیا کہیں گے آپ. انہوں نے کہا کہ اگر معلوم ہی نہیں ہے تو ایسے نالائقوں میں تقریر ہی نہیں کرتا. اور یہ کہہ کے جان بچا کے نکل گئے. لوگوں نے کہا بھائی ملا جی تو بڑے ہوشیار نکلے نکل گئے. پھر کبھی گھیرا ان کو اور ان سے تقریر کے لیے کہا تو انہوں نے ممبر پر بیٹھ کے یہ پوچھا کہ تمہیں معلوم ہے میں کیا تقریر کروں گا؟ پچھلا تجربہ لوگوں کے سامنے تھا. اور سب نے کہا ہاں جی پتا ہے آپ کیا کہیں گے. تو انہوں نے کہا تو پھر تقریر کی ضرورت ہی نہیں. انہوں نے کہا بھائی ہم کبھی نہیں کر گئے. پھر کچھ عرصے کے بعد ان کو گھیرا ممبر پہ بیٹھ کے. انہوں نے پھر وہی سوال کیا کہ بھائی آپ کو پتا ہے میں کیا کہوں گا؟ تو اب کے پلاننگ سے بیٹھے تھے لوگ. لوگوں نے کہا کہ آدھے لوگ کہیں گے پتا ہے، آدھے کہیں گے نہیں پتا ہے. تو جب لوگوں نے کہا کہ ہمیں پتا ہے، آدھوں نے کہا کہ پتا نہیں ہے، تو ملا جی نے یہ جواب دیا کہ بھائی جن کو پتا ہے وہ ان کو بتا دے جنہیں پتا ہے. اس سے کوئی فرق نہیں پڑتا کہ میری تقریر کچھ لوگوں کی سمجھ میں آئے یا نہ. جن کے سمجھ میں آئے وہ انہیں بتا دیں جن کی سمجھ میں نہیں آئے. اس لیے بتانے کی ضرورت نہیں ہے. مجھے میرے جن دوستوں نے مدد کیا میں بہت شکر گزار ہوں. اور خاص طور پر اس ملک میں اس بات کی بہت ضرورت ہے کہ دین کے بارے میں اور پیغمبر اسلام صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم کے بارے میں جو باتیں عام طور پر ایسی ہیں کہ جو بے بنیاد ہیں ان کا کم سے کم ازالہ ہونا چاہیے. مثال کے طور پر اسلام کے بارے میں ایک یہ بھیانک تصویر دکھائی جاتی ہے کہ اسلام عورت پر انتہائی ظلم کرتا ہے. آج کی اس گفتگو کا یہ موضوع نہیں ہے کہ میں بتاؤں کہ اسلام ظلم کرتا ہے یا نہیں کرتا ہے اور جس کو ظلم سمجھا جاتا ہے وہ ظلم ہے یا نہیں. یہ موضوع نہیں ہے. لیکن میں آپ کو بتاؤں کہ صدیوں سے جو عورت پر ظلم ہوتا چلا آ رہا تھا ظہور اسلام کے بعد اور آج تک میں یہ کہتا ہوں دعوے سے اور چیلنج سے یہ بات کہتا ہوں کہ کوئی مذہب، کوئی قانون، کوئی دین دنیا میں ایسا نہیں ہے کہ جو اسلام سے زیادہ عورت کے معاملے میں پروگریسو. انتہائی پروگریسو تصورات ہیں، لیکن بدقسمتی سے اس کو جس طریقے سے پیش کیا جاتا ہے قبائلی معاشرہ جو ہے اور وہ دنیا میں ہر جگہ ہوتا ہے. قبائلی معاشرہ اس ملک میں بھی ہے، مارمنز ہے اور بھی ہیں بہت سے ایسے علاقے کے جو یہاں کی سوسائٹی وہ نہیں ہے. لیکن آپ کبھی کسی ملک سے، کسی قوم سے، کسی ٹریڈیشن سے اس کو منسوب نہیں کرتے ہیں. ان کی زیادتیوں کو آپ انہیں تک رکھتے ہیں. اسلام سے پہلے بھی جو قبائل تھے اور عورت کو، اور ظلم یاد رکھیے کہ ہمیشہ جب ہوتا ہے. ظالم کبھی کمزور نہیں ہوتا، مظلوم کمزور ہوتا ہے. اقبال نے لکھا ہے کہ عربی کا ایک شاعر تھا ابو العلا معرہ، وہ گوشت نہیں کھاتا تھا. کہتے ہیں کبھی گوشت نہ کھاتا تھا معرہ، پھل پھول پہ کرتا تھا ہمیشہ گزر اور آت. لوگوں نے اس کو چھیڑ چھاڑ کر کے کہ اس کو گوشت کھلائیں. ایک دوست نے بھونا ہوا تیتر اسے بھیجا. اس نے کہا تیتر کھائے گا تو ہم کہیں گے گوشت کھائیں گے. شاید کہ وہ شاطر اسی ترکیب سے ہو ماں. تو وہ شاعر صاحب جو تھے بجائے اس کے کہ تیتر بھنا ہوا کھاتے، وہ گفتگو کر رہے ہیں تیتر سے اور کہتے ہیں کہ افسوس صد افسوس کہ شاہی نہ بنا. اے مرغا کے بیچارہ ذرا یہ تو بتا تو تیرا وہ گناہ کیا تھا؟ یہ ہے جس کی مکافات. افسوس صد افسوس کہ شاہی نہ بنا تو، اور دیکھے نہ تیری آنکھ میں فطرت کے اشارے. اور وہ پرندہ ایک ہی جواب دیتا ہے ایک چھیڑ میں، اور وہ یہ ہے، جواب وہ یہ دیتا ہے تقدیر کے قاضی کا یہ فتویٰ ہے ازل سے. تقدیر کے قاضی کا یہ فتویٰ ہے ازل سے، ہے جرم ضعیفی کی سزا مرگ مفاد. دنیا میں جو کمزور ہوتا ہے وہی مظلوم ہوتا ہے. آج بھی دنیا میں بڑے چرچے ہیں، فلاں قوم پر فلاں ظلم کر رہا ہے، فلاں قوم پر فلاں ظلم کر رہا ہے، وہ ظالم ہے، وہ مظلوم ہے. میں ان لوگوں سے یہ کہتا ہوں ظالم تو ٹھیک ہے، اس کی تو آپ شکایت کریں، لیکن مجھے تو شکایت ان لوگوں سے ہے جو مظلوم ہیں. وہ کیوں مظلوم ہیں؟ اور اگر آپ نے اس قسمت پر اور اس تقدیر پر اگر آپ نے قناعت کر لی کہ ہم مظلوم بن کے رہیں، تو پھر کوئی شکوہ بھی کرنے کی ضرورت نہیں ہے. پھر ہر قسم کا ظلم جو ہے ظالم آپ کے اوپر کرے گا، آپ اس کو سہتے رہیں گے. اس لیے عورت ہمیشہ سے مظلوم تھی. اور کیوں مظلوم تھی؟ اس لیے مظلوم تھی کہ عورت کمزور ہے. کمزور یہ نہیں ہے کہ ظاہر ہے کہ کشتی لڑنے میں تو کمزور ہے، بوجھ اٹھانے میں تو کمزور ہے، لیکن اثر رسوخ میں کمزور ہے یا نہیں، یہ آپ سب گواہی دیں گے کہ ہے یا نہیں. لیکن کمزور اس لحاظ سے ہے کہ عورت کو سوسائٹی نے، کسی سوسائٹی نے آئینی اور قانونی جو اس کے حقوق تھے کبھی متعین کر کے نہیں دیے کہ یہ تمہارے حقوق ہیں. اسلام سے 500 سال پہلے تک ایک فتویٰ موجود ہے. اس وقت کے جو راہب تھے اور اس وقت رومن امپائر میں یہ فتویٰ موجود ہے. یہ بحث تھی کہ کیا عورت ہیومن بینگ ہے یا نہیں. اور اب تو ہر چیز نیٹ پہ ہے، مولانا کی تو ضرورت ہی نہیں. میں تو کہتا ہوں مولانا گوگل ہی کافی ہے. آپ دیکھیں، تلاش کریں، آپ کو 500 سال کا فتویٰ مل جائے گا پرانا کہ جس میں یہ کہا گیا ہے کہ عورت ہیومن بینگ نہیں، بس عورت ہمیشہ سے مخلوق ہے۔ قرآن میں عورت کے حقوق باقاعدہ، آپ کو معلوم ہے قرآن کے اندر 114 صورتیں ہیں، اور اللہ نے ان صورتوں کو جو بہت خاص خصوصیت ہے ان کی، اس وجہ سے ان ناموں پر اللہ نے صورت کو نازل کیا ہے۔ عورتوں کے حقوق کے بارے میں سورۃ النساء نازل ہوئی ہے، اور پتہ نہیں عورتوں کو یہ بات معلوم ہے یا نہیں کہ مردوں کے نام پہ کوئی سورۃ الرجال نہیں ہے، سورہ نساء اس میں حقوق کا ذکر ہے۔ آج آپ ذرا، میں تو یہ کہوں گا کہ بھائی مجھے کہنے کی ضرورت نہیں ہے کہ آپ کیوں آئے اور میں کیوں آیا، مختصر تقریر تو مولانا نصیر الدین کی طرح یہی ہے کہ بھائی خوب فنڈ دیجیے، لیکن نہیں، میں ایک بات آپ کو بتانا ضروری سمجھتا ہوں، اور وہ یہ ہے، ایک لفظ ہے جس یتیم اس کو کہتے ہیں، یتیم، اور جو اردو جاننے والے ہیں اب وہ بیچارے اردو میں جو بولا جاتا ہے، لفظ بولا جاتا ہے، اس کا وہی ترجمہ وہ کر دیتے ہیں۔ یتیم کس کو کہتے ہیں؟ جس کا باپ نہ ہو۔ غلط ہے۔ سرکار دو عالم صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم دنیا میں تشریف لائے، اور تشریف آوری سے قبل آپ کے والد کا سایہ سب، اس کا مطلب یہ آپ دنیا میں یتیم تھے، لیکن یتیم اس کو نہیں کہتے کہ جس کا باپ نہ ہو، بلکہ وآتوا الیتامی اموالہم، یتیموں کا مال۔ اور اسی طرح یتیم عورتیں بھی کہا گیا ہے۔ یتیم کہتے ہیں اصل میں جس کا باپ مر جائے وہ نہیں، جس کا سہارا سر پہ سے وہ یتیم۔ وہ عورت یتیم ہے کہ جس کا شوہر مر جائے، وہ عورت کہ جس کا شوہر اس کو چھوڑ دے وہ بھی یتیم۔ بدقسمتی سے جو طبقہ انسانوں کا کمزور ہے ان میں عورتیں بھی ہیں، ان میں بچے بھی ہیں، اور اس طریقے پر ہر معاشرہ ایکسپلائٹ کرتا چلا آیا ہے، اور اس ملک میں خاص طور پر اس بات کی ضرورت تھی کہ آپ بتائیں کہ اسلام اور مسلمان جو ہے وہ یتیم عورتوں کے لیے، بے سہارا عورتوں کے لیے وہ کیا اس کے احکام ہیں اور کیا وہ حقوق دیتا ہے۔ قرآن کریم میں آپ لوگ واقف ہوں گے، سنا ہوگا، حضرت موسیٰ علیہ السلام سے ایک غلطی یہ ہو گئی کہ مصر کے اندر انہوں نے ایک قبطی کو ایک مکہ مارا، فرعون کی حکومت سے یہ ڈر تھا کہ وہ کہیں ان کو پکڑ کے ان کو سزا نہ دے، یہ وہاں سے روانہ ہو گئے۔ راستے میں پہنچے تو ایک کنویں کے اوپر کچھ لوگ پانی بھر رہے ہیں، اور انہوں نے دیکھا کہ دو عورتیں کونے میں کھڑی ہیں، کمزور، جو طاقتور ہے وہ آ کے پانی بھرتے ہیں، جو طاقتور ہے وہ آ کے اپنی مشق کرتے ہیں۔ یہ کھڑے دیکھتے رہے، اور دیکھتے دیکھتے ان سے برداشت نہیں ہوا۔ یہ لڑکیاں بیچاری کھڑی ہیں، کوئی ان سے پوچھنے والا نہیں ہے کہ بھئی کیوں کھڑی ہو، کیا ہے۔ حضرت موسیٰ علیہ السلام آئے ہیں اور آ کے پوچھا آپ کیسے کھڑی ہیں؟ کہا کہ ہم تو صبح سے آئے ہوئے ہیں پانی بھرنے کے لیے، ہم کمزور ہیں اس لیے ہمارا نمبر ہی نہیں ہے۔ آپ نے فرمایا اللہ، اور آپ آئے اور اس بھیڑ میں گھس کے آپ نے کنویں میں پانی بھر کے ان کو دیا ہے۔ जिसका मतलब ये है ये नबी का अमल है। ये औरतें कमजोर हैं और नबी अपने अमल से ये सबक दे रहा है कि कमजोर हो, अगर मर्द हो या औरत हो, उसके साथ हमदर्दी फर्ज है। और ये जरूरी नहीं है कि वो तुम्हारे दीन ही की औरत हो, तुम्हारे मजहब ही की औरत हो। नहीं, अगर यतीम औरत है, बेसहारा औरत है, बस मुझे इन दोस्तों के इसी अंदाज में मुझे मजबूर किया कि मैं आ गया। वैसे तो तंजीमें बहुत दुनिया में हैं, लेकिन खास तौर पर खवातीन के लिए जो इन्होंने कदम उठाया और जो अज़्म इन्होंने किया है, मैं समझता हूँ अगर खुलूस और दयानतदारी के साथ इस मिशन को लेकर अगर आगे बढ़े तो फिर यहाँ इसको कामयाबी से चला के आप उन ममालिक में आइए कि जहाँ हकीकत में औरत पर जुल्म होता है। वैसे तो मजलूम तो अगर कोई से भी पूछेंगे वो भी मजलूम है, यहाँ भी फर्स्ट लेडी से पूछेंगे वो भी मजलूम है। लेकिन जहाँ वाकई जुल्म है वो आपका अपना मुल्क है, हिंदुस्तान है, पाकिस्तान है, बांग्लादेश है, तमाम भरी जहाँ जहाँ जिहादत ज्यादा होगी औरत कमजोर होगी, और जहाँ कमजोर होगी वहाँ मर्द की सोसाइटी उसके ऊपर जुल्म करती है और वो उस जुल्म का निशाना उसको बनाती है। और इसीलिए काबिल मुबारकबाद है आप सब लोग कि आप एक ऐसी इबादत के लिए आप खड़े हुए कि जिस तरफ बाकी लोग तवज्जो नहीं देते। हदीस में आता है सरकार आलम सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने फरमाया उनसुर अखाका ज़ालिमन औ मज़लूमन, अपने भाई की मदद करो चाहे वो जालिम हो या मजलूम। सहाबा ने अर्ज किया कि या रसूल अल्लाह, मजलूम की मदद तो समझ में आती है, जालिम की कैसे मदद करें? फरमाया कि जालिम की मदद ये है कि उसको जुल्म से रोको। ये जालिम है। तो आप उन जालिमों के और मजलूम खवातीन के दरमियान एक ताकत बन के खड़े हों कि जो जालिम इन औरतों पर जुल्म की नियत से हाथ न उठा सके, इनके साथ ज्यादती न कर सके, इनको रोटी कपड़ा और दूसरी इंसानी जरूरियात के लिए ये मजबूर और मोहताज बना के गलियों में और सड़कों में फिरने पर मजबूर न करे। आपका ये अज़्म इंतहाई मुबारकबाद है, वो आपके काबिल है। और मैं ये समझता हूँ कि यकीनन ये आज का ये इज्तिमा और ये फंड रेजिंग डिनर जो है ये एक बहुत मुबारक साबित होगा पूरी सोसाइटी के लिए, न सिर्फ अमेरिका में बल्कि अमेरिका से बाहर भी, हमारे मुल्कों के अंदर भी खाने के। और मेरे दरमियान मैंने काफ़ी वक्त ले लिया, वैसे भी फुक़हा ने लिखा है कि खाना जब सामने हो तो और तमाम चीज़ें जो है मकरूह हैं। वाखिर दावाना अनिल हम्दुलिल्लाह।
Our next speaker is Ms. Robin Desor.
For you. Just no, because my computer just froze.
All right, we're going to have her stay right here. No, you have a proper introduction. Absolutely. All right, so she's right behind me, ignore that she's here. All right, she is the Assistant Director for the Chicago Field Office of the Department of Homeland Security. In this capacity, she directs and oversees the execution of logistics, facilities, requirements, hiring, property management, procurement, and quality assurance programs. This includes responsibility for the management and oversight in the Chicago Field Office multi-million-dollar budget for the 11 state service areas in the Midwest region. She has served in this position since 2004. Armed with this amazing resume, Ms. Desor is a strong advocate for women's rights. We are honored to have her serve on our Suzy's Place board. Now it's my pleasure to have her stand right behind me.
God, who's head of my life, and I am very grateful to be here in front of such distinguished guests and such giving. I am a member of the National Organization of Black Law Enforcement Executives, and it is our mission to ensure the equity and administration of justice in the provision of public service for all communities, and to serve as the conscience of law enforcement by being committed to justice by action. And you probably know we have our hands full. But it is my colleagues in law enforcement who see daily the real life horrors of domestic violence. And like so many situations law enforcement officers find themselves, they are the solution being used by society for something that they are not the solution for. The solution to domestic violence is in the communities. It's in the people's hands. And it is easy to feel with all that is going on today and age in this world, while we all might feel like Charles Dickens wrote in 1859. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times, it was the age of wisdom, it was the age of foolishness, it was the epoch of belief, it was the epoch of incredulity, it was a season of light, it was a season of darkness, it was the spring of hope and the winter of despair. We had everything before us, and we had nothing before us. We were all going directly to heaven, or we are all going directly the other way. It is hard to believe that was written in 1859 in The Tale of Two Cities, and it seems so adept to what is going on in our world today. And it depicts our America today, these feelings of despair, and such great need in the midst of such wealth and luxury. I am sure that each of you can give me a reason why you think this might be the worst of times. But relevant to Suzy's Place, I want to give you some facts to know what's going on, that why this might be the age of foolishness, the season of darkness, and the winter of despair. Every 9 seconds in the United States, a woman is assaulted or beaten. Domestic violence is the leading cause of injury to women, more than car accidents, muggings, and rapes combined. Nearly 1 in 5 teenage girls have been beaten in a relationship that she is breaking up with. Every day in the United States, more than 3 women are murdered by their husbands or boyfriends. Domestic violence victims lose nearly 8 million days of paid work per year in the United States. That's the equivalent of 32,000 full-time jobs. The cost of intimate partner violence in the United States exceeds $5.8 billion, of which $4.1 billion is attributed to direct medical and healthcare expenses. The other $1.8 billion is in productivity losses. Nearly 10 million children worldwide witness some form of domestic violence. Men who are children witness partner violence are twice as more likely to be abusers when they grow up. 92% of the homeless women and children report domestic violence as the reason. 50% of the U.S. cities cite domestic violence as the primary cause of homelessness. The #1 cause of women death during pregnancy is domestic homicide. The #1 cause of death of African American women between the ages of 15 and 34 is homicide at the hands of a partner. 1 in 12 women will be stalked in their lifetime. And let me break this down by ethnic so we understand that this does not have any barriers in America. 17% of Native American or Alaskan Native women are starved. 8.2% of white women are starved. 6.5% of African American women are starved. 4.5% Asian or Pacific Islander women are starved. The number of times the abuser hits his spouse before she makes a police report is 35. Yeah, whoa. Globally and domestically, violence against women is a pandemic, and it primarily happens in the home. These numbers are not just statistics. They are lives. They are someone's reality. I find these facts staggering and quite frankly very chilling. Just ponder for a moment. Home. That's the place you and I consider a safe haven. The place when we enter, we take off our shoes, lock the doors behind us, and in that private place we find our joy and our purpose. That's home to us, but not for others. Just imagine with me. Just take a second. After working all day, reluctantly and fearfully, a woman or a child heads to their home. A place of terror, a place where nightmares are created, where bones are broken, blood is shed and spirits are crushed. The click of the door locks for them signals the end of peace and the beginning of hell. Imagine being consumed with terror, not knowing the moment when it will begin, not knowing whether this time will I live. Imagine a child trying to find sleep through the shouting and screams. There are some of us in here who can't sleep with the TV on. I need you to imagine a child trying to find sleep, listening to the slapping flesh, the pounding, banging, and crashing of their mother's body into furniture and walls. Imagine a child trying to sleep, listening to their mother's sobs. I can't bear it in my soul or my heart. I can't imagine being helpless, listening to my mother brutalized. I can't imagine. The children are doing this. 10 million every year worldwide. The sheer image of it all grips my stomach and chills my blood. And that child, dear God, my soul cries out and I say, how can this be in America? How can this be? And I say it again, how can this be? And then my small, still voice that speaks to my soul reminds me of what my friend Tariq Siddiqui said to me. He said, God's not testing those that suffer. He's testing those of us that are not. This is our test. And I believe we're going to pass it. So as I stand here, from the depth of my heart, I'm here because I believe that you and I can make a difference in the lives of these women and children. I stand here knowing and believing that yes, we still can. I know what Mahatma Gandhi spoke was the truth, still is the truth, and will always be the truth. You must be the change we wish to see in this world. We are that change. We are that difference. So with this truth in my heart, and hopefully in yours, you must remember also that Charles Dickens so artfully described our time in 1859. He also said, it was the best of time. It was the age of wisdom. It was the epoch of belief, the season of light and the spring of hope. The difference between the worst of time and the best of time is you and I. This is our test, and we must pass. We are the spring of hope. We are the light in the darkness for these women and children. We are their way out, and not to the streets, but to a safe place, to a place where they can begin to heal their bodies, their spirits, a place to restart their dreams, a place to begin again, Suzy's place. Ronald Reagan said with such clarity and confidence that America is a shining city upon a hill whose beacon of light guides freedom-loving people everywhere. I believe that is you and I. I'm asking each of you to help us turn on the lights in Suzy's place so that the beacon of light in this great shining city of the hill will shine brighter on our side, shine brighter in Suzy's place, because Suzy's place is our light, our beacon of hope. Your support for Suzy's place is greatly appreciated and greatly needed. There is a great need for women and children to have safe places. There are times like this that may feel like the worst time, but they are in fact the best time, because it is during these times of need that the American spirit rises to the occasion. We stand up and we be the change we wish to see. I am saying to you with Mordecai said to Esther, we were born for a time such as this. We were born for a time such as this. Suzy Place is not beyond our means. We can and we will. We will provide a safe haven for women and children. We will do this because I believe that the miracle of our life is the difference we make in another's life. Because I believe, like Esther, we were born for a time such as this. I want to thank you for your time and your patience, and may God find you my words in your heart. Thank you.
I was in love with this man, read without him. I did everything for this man, but I guess it wasn't enough for him. I would have never guessed that he was cheating on me. When I found out, he would come home from cheating and call me names, start hitting me, which turned into beating me. I turned to alcohol for support and comfort. Ended up an alcoholic. I ended up in jail. When I came out, I realized I needed to change, all because of this one man that never gave up on me. Always pushing me and showing me there is better ways to deal with my situation. He has helped me get back on my feet, helped me get a job, helped me get an apartment. He showed me how to open up to help other women went through the same thing that I went through. I realized no man can break, no names, no meanings. I am a powerful woman. I want to show that other women that are not alone, show them they can be powerful just like me. My name is Suzy, which they have named the shelter after me. So please take my story, leave it to your heart, and help us by donating so we can help other women that went through the same thing that I went through. I want to thank Suzy's Place for helping me get through this, and also want to thank this man that stood by my side. He has pushed me through my tough times and my good times. He never gave up on me. Thanks to Tariq Sadiki.
He said, سرور تدخله على قلب مسلم. that you bring joy and happiness to the heart of an individual. Now, we're not talking about joy, and we're talking about essentials and basics of life. The Prophet also in another hadith, peace be upon himself, defining these basics, man asbaha aminan fi sirbihi, and he chose security the first. He's up secure in his tribe, in his flock, in his community. Mu'afan fi badanihi, he has access to take care of his wellness being, medical service. عنده قوت يومه, put food on the table. فقد حيزت له الدنيا. That is what life is all about. Security, wellness, and access to live honorably. And anything else could be a form of luxury. Today, we're not collecting funds for some luxury items. We're collecting funds for a basic necessity of life, that every individual deserves to feel the peace that your children have the ability, as beautifully was said, you bring your children at home, you have insurance on your kids, on yourself, on your home, on your house, on your car, on your cell phone, on name it. But those people have no insurance but their faith in God. And because of that faith, we're not going to let them down. We're going to make sure that our money goes to the basics of life, because one who saves one person, وَمَنْ أَحْيَاهَا فَكَأَنَّمَا أَحْيَا النَّاسَ جَمِيعًا. He is as if he had brought life to humanity. The story of Suzy is the story of many women and children who are as if not more abused in the matters that are happening between parents in that perspective. So I'm going to need someone to look deep into his heart and think, we are meant for this time. God did not bring you tonight just for the biryani to eat it. I know there's the only thing between you and the food is me now, so let me do my job and then we'll eat. If we're not going to collect enough funds, I'm going to keep talking. I can talk all night long. Trust me. So I need the first $10,000 to be the seed and the foundation. This is the place where it is being remodeled. There's a difference between who builds and establishes a foundation and between someone who comes 10 years later to pay some bills. That one is honorable, but they do not the same. There's a difference between someone who starts and invites to his book of deeds, what we call the sadaqah jariyah, the continuous, even after you die, it will keep pouring hasanat and rewards in your book of deeds. So who has the first $10,000 for Suzy's place to be serving the community, lifting hardship, bringing ease, supporting this necessity of safety and security? I need one person. Do we have one?
I announced the donation of $10,000 on behalf of my friend Ali Akhtar.
Ali Akhtar, on his behalf, $10,000. Give it a round of applause, please. MashaAllah. May Allah accept. Say Ameen. I need the next $10,000. MashaAllah. The name? Sayyid, mashallah. Give a round of applause for Brother Sayyid. The third $10,000. We're going to eat fast, I guess. It's not going to take us long. Yalla. Let's go. I need 3 more hands. I was hoping for 5 individuals. And this is something you don't have to put it all at once. I think they can pay $1,000 a month for 10 months and you'll be fine. Credit cards, checks, food stamp, link cards, whatever, it all works. So they can cash it, gold, jewelry. The third $10,000, couple pieces of gold. I know they're worth $10,000 now. And Allah spoke to women as much as He spoke to men about giving. إن المصدقين والمصدقات, those who donate, males and females. So come on, sisters, I know you have credit cards. And you go to Lord & Taylor, and you go to all these places and you just swipe it, and the bills get paid. Someone pays the bills. Can I take one more? Let me just say 3. I need one more $10,000. Who will honor us with this pledge? $1,000 for 10 months? Consider this a bill of honor. Consider this, you know, one of our beautiful scholars, his name is Ibn Atta al-Sakandari, says, إذا أردت أن تعرف عند الله مقامك, if you'd like to know your status with God, فانظر فيما أقامك, look where He stationed you at. And tonight you have been stationed in this place to make an honorable thing to happen. So you have been chosen. And trust me, happiness is not in taking. Happiness is in giving. It's like the fruit. When it gets ripe on the branch, it's purpose for someone to come and take it and eat it and enjoy the sweetness and the sugar in it. And if it stays on that branch, the same sugar will cause it to be rotten and fall down and be wasted. So this money, which is the sweetness we're talking about, if you are going to give it, you're going to feel a purpose. You're going to feel that you made a difference in people's life. Who knows? Maybe a prayer in the middle of the night by one of these women or boys or girls will be the reason for you to enter heaven. You don't know how these things work. Can I get one more hand, one last hand? A pledge, it could be from an individual, a family, an organization, a business, an institution. Take the honor and make a pledge of $10,000. One more hand. I'm gonna need it.
You know, Sheikh, sorry to disturb you, but the $10,000 will also be able to make a plaque in honor of your mother, in honor of your father, your deceased parents, your family, and that plaque will go up in the shelter where only you know it's in there, and the women and the children that you helped will be able to see it. So this is your connection between you and your God.
Leave your marks of honor and the places where the donation between you and God, only people who are inside benefiting will see that. But before anyone knew, it's God who is all aware of all that which you have done. One last call, one last chance. Like this poor man who came to the wife of the Prophet, Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her. And when she gave him some dates, she heard him saying, Jazakillahu khairan, may Allah reward you. She said, I shall tell you, may Allah reward you. You gave me the chance to give. These dates would have been just eaten and forgotten. But now you gave me a chance to make use of them in a proper way. The money you're going to keep, may Allah bless whatever you're going to keep, but it's going to be paid in bills. Rent here, policies there, education there, which is all fine. But the true money that you take ownership is that which you choose to use for something honorable. Free yourself from yourself and give. And demonstrate the ability to control your money. Don't let your money control you. One last hand. One last person. 20 seconds. Shall we go to King down? We have one. MashaAllah, a family from New Jersey all the way. Give it a round of applause, please. Joffrey family, MashaAllah. MashaAllah, yes, family members. You know, it doesn't have to be one individual. Okay, let me move to another number that I hope. Let us hope for 10 people that will raise their hands. Only $5,000. $500 a month for 10 months. Who would be the first person to take this honor? MashaAllah, the name? Shifran? MashaAllah. Give it a hand for Brother Shifran, please. The first $5,000. MashaAllah. We have $35,000 now. May Allah reward him. Say ameen. Number 2. Who has the second $5,000? The pledge. Before your mom met your dad, you were destined to be here tonight. That's it. It's been written by God. So make sure you use this for your own benefit. What is money? It's worthless. We're gonna die and we're gonna leave everything behind us. The only thing that we will find ahead of us is what we give now. One person gave a goat as a gift to the Prophet. And when he came back, he said, "Oh Aisha, what is left of the goat?" She said, "All of it is gone." She donated all the meat. And the only thing left is the shoulder. He used to like to eat from the shoulder. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So he smiled and he said, "No, Ya Aisha, say all of it will stay. And the only thing will be wasted is the shoulder that we will eat." He knew exactly the value of giving. That this is what you truly save for yourself. The $5,000, number 2. Who has it? I was hoping for 10 individuals to raise their hands fast. This is the moment to act on. And it is you who is going to make a difference. Let me say this also. We are at a time we need to start investing in our neighborhoods. There are much atrocities happening around the world, I agree. I'm from Lebanon, I grew up in the Civil War. And I love to send family money over there. And now Syria and Kashmir and other parts of the world. But for the well-being of us here, we need to invest in our neighborhoods. And if people are not seeing us acting on our duties as citizens and as Muslims, we're not going to make any role model for our kids to take that track around and continue. So balance and make investment in the place where you can cash it back in better neighborhoods. The $5,000 pledge number 2. Come on, mashallah, the young lady. What's your name? The name? Obers? Omar family. Give it a hand please for this beautiful young lady from the Omar family. Teach your children to give. Let them raise their hand. I need one more hand. The pledge number 3 for the $5,000. We came here tonight to celebrate and we are now alhamdulillah at $40,000.